Hi, I'm Robin. I'm going to be talking to you about the bones of the upper limb. So let's go ahead and get started. The upper limb can be broken into three sections: the arm or the brachium, the forearm or the antebrachium, and then the hand. The arm extends from the shoulder to the elbow. The forearm is from the elbow to the wrist, and then the hand is from the wrist down to the distal phalanx. Included in each of these areas, in the arm or the brachium, you have one bone, the humerus. In the forearm or the antebrachium, you have the ulna and the radius. And then in the hand, you have the carpal bones. There are 8, 4 in a proximal row and 4 in a distal row. You have the metacarpals, and then you have your proximal, middle, and distal phalanxes. We're going to start with talking about the humerus, the anterior and the posterior view of the humerus, and the points that you would need to know. So first, you have the head of the humerus. In this, the head of the humerus articulates with the glenoid cavity of the scapula to form the glenohumeral joint. Then you have the greater and lesser tubercles, which are attachment points for muscles that go across the shoulder joint. Next is the intertubercular sulca, which provides passage for a tendon of the bicep brachii muscle. It's a little groove right in between the greater tubercle and the lesser tubercle, and it holds that bicep tendon as it goes down your arm. Next, you have your deltoid tuberosity, which is the attachment site for the deltoid muscle. Then you have your medial epicondyles and your lateral epicondyles. And these are attachment points for muscles that act in the elbow, the wrist, and the hand. The medial epicondyle is what allows for the powerful grasping motions of the forearm, and the lateral epicondyle is responsible for more of the weaker actions of the elbow joint in the forearm. Next, you have the trochlea, which articulates with the trochlear notch in the ulna. You have the capitulum, which articulates with the radius. The coronoid fossa, which is proximal to the trochlea, which receives the coronoid process of the ulna. The radial fossa, which is also proximal to the trochlea, which receives the head of the radius when the elbow is flexed like this. So when the elbow is flexed like this, the radial process receives the head of the radius. And finally, you have the olecranon fossa, which is on the posterior side of the bone. And the olecranon fossa receives the olecranon process when the elbow is extended. And the olecranon process right here is actually what makes up this bony section of your elbow. So when your arm is completely extended, the olecranon fossa receives the olecranon process.